I'm Robert Ochoa, and I'm bringing you today the top 10 PlayStation 2 games that I own. Now, the PlayStation 2 was actually a pretty cool console when it came out. I mean, I saved up $500 to go buy the console and buy 2 games. But what sucks is that I didn't have enough money to buy the memory card. So for about like a month, I was just playing the games without being able to save them. I'll tell you what games they were later on, since they come up in the countdown. But first, let's start off with probably one of the cheesiest games that I have for the PlayStation 2, but it's fun just because that's the type of guy I am. First, we have Rumble Roses. Now, this game is actually, it's lame. It's a cheap knockoff game, except you get a bunch of women wrestlers going around trying to fight each other. You get special moves that look very provocative and erotic and stuff like that. But actually, to tell you the truth, the one thing I do like about this game is the soundtrack. It actually has an excellent soundtrack, some good music, and it's fun to play, especially with your friends all coming around and being, ha ha ha, look what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's cheesy, but it's cool, it's fun, and definitely something that you should probably pick up if you're into big-breasted women just beating each other up. Next game we have here is The Hulk, Ultimate Destruction. Now, this is by far the most coolest Marvel game ever made for the PlayStation 2. You're just a Hulk and you go around smashing things up. I mean, that's all you do. There is nothing more to this game. It's kind of like one of those sandbox games, except you don't roam around as much as you would want to, and there's not a lot of missions that pop up out of nowhere. There is a storyline and it follows it, and it's pretty cool. One of the things that I like the most about this game is after you beat it and you unlock a couple of things, you get to play as Grey Hulk, and Grey Hulk is just awesome because that was the original color of the Hulk, and it's really cool and it's really exciting. So definitely pick this one up if you're a fan of Marvel, if you want to play a good bash 'em, smash 'em, beat 'em up, destroy everything. This is the game for you. Next up we have Onimusha. Now this is a hard one to do because there are 3 Onimusha, well no, I think there's 4 Onimusha games, but 3 of them came out for the PlayStation 2. I don't know what the 4th one came out for. Anyways, this game is pretty cool and it's pretty exciting. It's like Resident Evil, but made for it's like Resident Evil, but it takes place in like feudal Japan, and it's pretty cool. Story is about Lord Nobunaga, who's like this famous Japanese emperor who came to power quickly, and there's all these different stories about how he came to power, and this game says that he used a demon army to take over everything. So this is actually a really fun game. It has a lot of Japanese folklore in it. It has a lot of colors, very good storytelling. You're this hero who loses his arm, and then you gain this super powerful gauntlet, and you get to change the orbs, and the orbs change what kind of weapons you use, and each weapon has different powers. So it's really, really good. But it is also really, really hard. The first time I played this game, it kicked my ass. There is no doubt about it. This game will beat you up the first time you play it. It wasn't until the 3rd time around that I got really good at it and got a lot of the secret items and started finding other secret things in the game. So this game is definitely for survival horror fans. Like I said, it's almost like Resident Evil, except you're a samurai. Instead of using guns, you're using a sword. Instead of fighting zombies and monsters, you're fighting demons and monsters. So definitely check this one out. Next, we have a beautiful game here, Shadow of the Colossus. Now, this game is awesome, but it's not for everybody. In fact, it's kind of slow and it lags, and most of the time, where you expect action, you're riding around on a horse. This game has a very beautiful story to it. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's one of those lost love stories. Anyways, our hero is going around fighting against these things called the Colossus, which are these giant stone monsters that just are all over the land. And only the first stone monster is pretty easy. You just got to climb, find the weak spots, and kill it. Later on throughout the game, things become harder. You have to look for the weak spots. You have to figure out exactly how to get to the weak spots, where to hit the monster, when to attack, and all that kind of stuff. Game is beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the scenery, the cutscenes, Just everything about this game, even the monsters themselves are just, they're magical. Definitely this game is cool. You should pick it up. But like I said, it's not a game for everybody. There's a lot of times where you're just riding around looking for the monsters with no action whatsoever. In fact, you're going to get so bored playing this game, you're going to shoot the little lizards that are just walking around, you know, and you go over there and pick them up and eat them for health. But like I said, this game's not for everybody. But if you like, you know, great video game graphics, you like a really good story, you like, you know, a lot of heart and emotion poured into the game and not so much, you know, action and cleavage and all that other stuff that most games have, this is definitely the game for you to pick up. This is great. Next we have Devil May Cry. Now this game is totally different than Shadow of Colossus. This is all out action, non-stop, hack and slash your way through all these levels with the sword and any other weapons you can find. This game is cool. It's pretty hip. It's pretty, you know, it's hard to explain. Definitely the soundtrack's really cool. You get a lot of cool music. You get a lot of big epic boss battles. You get guns, shotguns, pistols, rocket launchers, everything. You're beating up people with your sword, with your gauntlet, with all these weird weapons, and it's cool. Voice acting is pretty cool. The look is really good. I think this is one of those games that the PlayStation 2 just had to put out there in order to get people to play it. I mean, the first time I played this game was actually on a demo disc, and I just said, I have to get this game. I let my friend borrow the demo disc, and later on he said, dude, I have to play that game. And I let another friend come over and play the demo disc, and he went and bought himself a PlayStation 2 just so that he could get this game. So this game is really cool, and I know they're doing a remake now, which I'm kind of excited to see, but at the same time, you know, I was around for when this one came out, so I don't know, I got mixed emotions about it. But anyways, if you want to play a really good, fast, action-packed game, this is definitely the one here to pick up for the PlayStation 2. Okay, next, it's a tie, because it's along the same story, but we are going to look at, and please be nice to me, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I know what you're thinking. Kingdom Hearts, really? Well, you know what? Hey, I'm a big fan of Disney. I grew up watching Disney as a kid. I watched all the Disney movies that came out around my time. I have a nice collection of Disney movies on DVD. No Blu-rays yet, but I'm working on it. So anyways, it would be natural for me to pick up these games. These games are really cool because it takes Disney and it takes characters from the Final Fantasy series, puts them together, and great storytelling and just all-out fighting. Disney fans will love this because, you know, they will get to visit the worlds that all the Disney characters are from. Alice in Wonderland, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. They get to use playable characters too, like you can use Tarzan from the animated Tarzan movie. So these are really cool. The reason why I put both together on this list, because it's one big story and there's not a lot of different gameplay from one game to the other, and there's not a lot of character changes, except for in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. There's that whole weird story with Roxas. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, pick up these two games and play them. I'm not gonna lie, I am desperately waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. I am tired of it. There are so many Kingdom Hearts games out there, like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory, Kingdom Hearts Lost Memories, Kingdom Hearts I Can't Find My Keys. Just please, Square Enix, Squaresoft, whatever you call yourself, please make please make Kingdom Hearts 3 already. I am dying to wait to see what happens. If you beat Part 2 and complete everything, you get to get a special ending that kind of gets you excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. Where is it? I don't know. Anyways, Disney, Final Fantasy, gotta love them. Great games, great soundtrack, beautiful graphics. The mechanics are not so much like Final Fantasy. It's sort of RPG. Well, I think it's called an action RPG. That's what they're used for. So you go around, beat up things, but you get to level up, and you get to level up your potions and your characters. So, really cool games. Next up, this is probably one of the hardest games I ever played, and honestly, I was kind of let down the further I got along. That is Manhunt. Now this game is for true gorehound fans. If you're a gorehound and love gory movies and love killing and murdering and all the bloody stuff that people don't like, this game is for you. The reason why I picked this game up is because it was such a controversy. And I had to pick it up, I had to play it, and I can understand why. Story is that you're supposed to die, but you come back to life, rebirth in this weird, bizarre, underground thing where this guy actually kidnapped your body and... Oh, actually, you didn't die at all. He just kidnapped your body. And now he's putting you in his own snuff video. And you have to go around, you have to kill all these guys that he hired to come kill after you. At first I thought this was going to be one of those games where I could just run around and hack guys up. But this is a true stealth game. This is like Metal Gear Solid, Tenchu Stealth Assassins, where being stealth is going to get you through the game. The first levels are really, really creepy, and they're really, really hard, and they got the whole stealth thing behind it where you have to creep around behind shadows and you have to fool your enemies into coming your way and then jumping out and killing them. Later on levels, you start picking up guns and you start picking up rifles and stuff like that, shotguns, all that good stuff, and you start going up against guys who are using guns, so then it becomes less stealthy and more action. But still, there's some spots later on in the game where stealth will help a lot and you will have to kill. So what makes this game so controversial? You get to pick how violent you want your kill to be. If you want your kill to be fast and quick, you just quickly press the X button behind an enemy who does not see you and he will kill him. If you want the death to be more violent, more gory, then you will have to hold down the X button for a certain amount of time until, you know, I forgot if it tells you, but until you're ready and the death becomes gruesome and more violent. You get a better score the more violent and gruesome deaths are. So I guess the more sick and twisted your character is, the more points you get for it, and I can see why that was a controversy. You know, giving you points for actually being more violent and killing someone is not a good thing. But definitely pick this game up. It is hardcore, it is cool, it is creepy, it is scary, it gets your heart racing a couple of times, and it's exciting. Next, we got the only game that I ever played all the way through and beat. The only Final Fantasy game that is. And that's Final Fantasy X. This game is beautiful. What can I say? It's a great story, great graphics, great music, great action. It has everything you want in a Final Fantasy game. The only thing though is that the voice acting can be a little bad at times, and there could be some cheesy lines, and yeah, you know, you might have to sit through a couple of bad cutscenes. But other than that, everything is really good about this game. The leveling up system in here was awesome. They have this orb type deal where you place orbs in certain slots and you level up your character like that, and that was actually pretty cool. This game is hard and easy at the same time. If you're used to playing RPGs, it's very easy. If you're not used to playing RPGs, it's very hard. The first time I picked this game up, I had no clue how to play an RPG as well as I should have. So I kind of just took things for granted and just played it any way I could. And I didn't get very far and I kept dying a lot. But once I bought the game, and I started playing it over and over and over again, I started getting used to it, and I'm not going to lie, I read some things online. This game became fun, it became challenging, some parts were easy, some parts were hard, but leveling up your characters is probably the best way to go. I tried collecting everything I could, tried getting all the Aeons, tried getting all the secret weapons, tried collecting the alphabet. But it's a lot to do. So this game, if you want to play it straight through for the story, you can. Be challenging, but it won't be that tough. If you want to collect everything and do everything and get everything, that all the secrets that this game holds, you're going to be in for a real challenge. Trust me, you are. So anyways, probably one of the best RPGs I ever played. Probably one of the only RPGs I ever played all the way through and tried to do a lot more than just beat it. good game. This is the reason why I bought the PlayStation 2. Now wait a minute, I know you're thinking, why isn't it at number 1? It's not. It's at number 2. And we have Silent Hill 2. Now a lot of people are they're put down about this game. They're not sure whether they want to like it or not. And I think I know why. I was a big Silent Hill fan when the first Silent Hill came out. Loved it. Was scared of it, but I loved it. Then came Silent Hill 2, and I had to pick it up because I wanted to know what the damn mystery was about Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 is kind of different, and let me explain why. Because when Silent Hill 3 came out, Silent Hill 3 was very much like Silent Hill 1. And ever since then, the games after that have kind of been more like Silent Hill 3. This is the odd one that sticks out, and I think I know why. First of all, the main character is in a daze, in a fog. He doesn't know why he's there. He knows that he's there to look for his dead wife, and that's what makes him go to Silent Hill. But then he meets all these other characters. Well, not really. He meets like 3 other characters who are there at Silent Hill for their own personal reasons. They don't understand what he's doing there, what he's talking about. He doesn't understand what they're doing there and what they're talking about. So it's a big mystery. Another thing too is that this game, not a lot of monsters. Not a lot. There's only a handful of monsters. The only monsters to come back from Silent Hill 1 are the nurses. All the other monsters in this game are pretty new. The one thing that this game did bring that a lot of fans love is the sick, twisted, rapist Pyramid Head. Yeah, he freaked me out the first time I saw him. And a lot of the times I was scared to play the game just because I didn't want to run into him. But indeed, it's actually pretty... it's a pretty quiet game, even on hard mode. It's really not that challenging. Well, the puzzles are challenging, but it's not. Doesn't have that challenge in it. I think the environment plays a bigger part in the scare factor than the monsters do. Just like Silent Hill 1, it switches from Silent Hill to the other world, or Hell, or Dark Silent Hill, or whatever you want to call it. And you know, you hear the sirens. You got to get ready. Same basic weapons, rifle, shotgun, pistol, wooden plank, all that kind of stuff. The one thing though is that this game has, I think, 6 endings? I'm not too sure how many endings it has, but there are very specific things you have to do and not do in order to get certain endings. One thing is that you get a knife from another character, and if you examine your knife, you ruin your chances from getting a certain ending. So... and it's also hard because you don't know what ending you're going to get, you know. Very specific things, if you keep doing them over and over again, or if you don't listen to something, or if you don't read something correctly, it's really weird. The puzzles, on the other hand, are very, 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 very confusing and hard sometimes. Some of the puzzles will take you a while, and there is a option where you can put the puzzles at a harder level than what they are. I'm not really a puzzle guy, so I like my puzzles nice and easy. In fact, I wish you didn't have to find 5 different keys so they fit in the perfect slots, and I wish you could just open the door with no problem. But then it's not Silent Hill. This one is more on story than action, unlike Silent Hill 1 and 3, where there was a lot of action, a lot of different monsters, and a lot of killing. This one focuses on the character, your character, and the characters that he meets. And it's more about discovering the truth behind the story. And of course, there's also Easter eggs too. You know, you get weapons after you beat it. You get secret endings and stuff like that. So this Silent Hill definitely is the most scariest one that I ever played. It's probably the most disturbing Silent Hill game ever. And I think it has probably one of the best endings to have a twist. Not only in the Silent Hill franchise, but in a lot of video game franchises. So you got to pick up this one. Finally, the last game, the number 1 game that I love on the PlayStation 2. Contra Shattered Soldier. Now this game is awesome. It takes everything you like about Contra and it beefs it up on steroids, and this game is just one of the best games for the PlayStation 2. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I think this was one of those little sleeper games that when it came out, not a lot of people paid attention to. First of all, it's that whole 3D, 2D style, so even though they're 3D characters, it's on a 2D background and you're just jumping and platforming. But this game is really, 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 really exciting to play. I mean, the music is definitely for anybody who loves heavy metal. I'm calling out all metalheads. You have to play this game just for the soundtrack. I mean, if you love heavy metal and you really like solid, hardcore, just all instrumental, no singing, no yelling, but just hardcore, instrumental, heavy metal, this is definitely it. I mean, I played this game many a times for the levels, the actions, and the music alone. I mean, I just can't get enough of it. This game is really, really extreme. It just punches your balls. It punches your face. And, okay, I'm going to tell you how extreme this game gets. There's this one part in the game where you're running and you jump over a bridge, and then all of a sudden a pack of dogs are running with you. And one dog is so hyped, so excited, he actually does a flip over the bridge. It's funny to watch, but I mean, it just fits perfectly with the music. I think it's about the third level, so if you play the first two levels, you kind of just get that raw energy, and you can see why the dog's doing a flip over the bridge. I mean, it's just awesome. This game has plenty of ugly monsters, has plenty of transforming robots, it has plenty of aliens, it has plenty of bad guys, it has big guns, little guns, explosions all around. This game is just hardcore. This game I love so much for the PlayStation 2, but I can't play it because it's a blue disc. Anybody knows that PlayStation games that are blue disc, which means you flip it over on the back and it's blue, not that kind of goldish color, something happens to them and they just don't play as well as they do when you keep putting them in. I don't know if the disc dies. I don't know if the laser can't read it correctly, because I know my PlayStation 2 is very, very old. I got it back in like 2001. So I don't know if it's my PlayStation 2. I don't know if it's the game, but I really love this game and I can't play it anymore. But I can't part with it either because this is one of my most favorite games for the PlayStation 2. So anybody who loves Contra should pick this up. Anybody who loves heavy metal should pick this up. Anybody who's a fan of run and gun games, just going around shooting everything, should pick this up. If you love Gunstar Heroes for the Sega, you're going to love this game. Trust me. Graphics are awesome. Music's awesome. Just even the story is lame, but it's awesome. I mean, this game just gives you what you want. It brings back the Contra franchise. I never played any Contra games after this one, but I heard a lot of them went downhill from there. But I believe this is a good one. It's not the first Contra. It's not Contra Hard Corps, and it's not Contra the Alien Wars. But this is definitely a Contra that stands on its own, and people should pick it up and play it. Well, there you have it, folks. I'm Robert Ochoa, and that's my top 10 PlayStation 2 games. Remember, this is my top 10. If you want to disagree with me, or if you want to put something on the comments and having your own top 10 and all that, I'd be more than likely to listen to you. And if you want to put down your top 10 games or what your favorite games are and what games I should play on the PlayStation 2, I would like to listen to that too. Because I'm always looking for new games for any consoles. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you later.